Good evening. Thank you for coming out this evening. If I have not had the pleasure to meet you, my name is Ty Bell. I'm the assistant head of schools here at Terra, Verde, and we just want to thank you for coming out and supporting your kiddos. I want to just share with you how excited I am about tonight, because when I came to Terra Verde 3 years ago, one of the things I wanted most was for us to be able to start a band program, and tonight is the fruition of that first year of a program. And so these kiddos trusted us to jump in, and I think you're going to be very impressed with what you hear tonight out of the first year band program. I was a band student, played all the way through college, still play often as an adult, and I can tell you it's really, really very rare to hear a first year band group sound as good as what you're going to hear tonight. And that's the attribute to these kids and their hard work, but also to their fearless leader, Dr. Phelps. So without further ado, I will introduce you to our conductor for the evening and our band director.
not going to do that, okay? So here we go. I call this some pirate music, if you will, which is appropriate since Johnny Depp's on trial or in trial or whatever. We'll dedicate that to him this evening, all right? He's one of his biggest fans. So enjoy 3 sea shanties. Miles Everly. Vincent D. Nia Leary. Jesse Marshall Bingham. Faye Kessler. Miss Bella Patel. It's Bella Vitiello. You think I would know that having looked at anything? Cora Snyder. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Cameron Doonan. We're going to now play Dark Mission, and then we have some individual music awards that I'm going to give out, and I'll ask Dr. Schneider to come up and get ready to help me out with that. Once we get through this next piece, is called Dark Mission. We'll have a couple more awards, and then our final piece, which you'll all know and recognize. Okay, so enjoy Dark Mission. We had a first ever festival solo contest for all of our instrumentalists here at Terra Verde Discovery School, and I think that was like one of the only days I wasn't here in the spring. I don't remember, I had the flu or I don't know what I had, but it was really no fun. I couldn't be here the day of the solo festival, which was really disappointing. But Ms. Underwood saved the day, and we had two judges come in from out in the community. Susan Clothier from Payton Music, who is in the Oklahoma Bandmasters Hall of Fame, was one of our judges. She was my beginning band director and my high school band director in Tecumseh years ago, and she's really famous in Oklahoma. So she came in as one of the judges, and then we had Trent Davis from here in Norman, one of the high schools here, and they were our judges, and they selected two students to be the outstanding soloist from our instrumental solo contest. And the woodwind recipient of that is Ms. Cora Snyder. The outstanding brass soloist was Miles Everly. Terra Verde Discovery School band program. And for the woodwind, that goes to Thane Kistler. The Excellence in Musicianship Award for brass goes to J.P. Silva. I hope that you can tell by the way that they perform, which is really like an 8th or 9th grade level band. They don't really play like they played for 1 year, they played like they played for 2 years cumulatively. So it was really hard to decide who's the very top excellence award. And it kind of depends on what week it is as to who that is. So I had to pick the overall, who's the best for these. And the next award is the most improved student in band. And this goes for this award, they're named for their exceptional growth on their instrument and their ability on their instrument. For woodwind, that is Cameron Goodman. And for brass, the most exceptional growth goes to Jesse Marshall Bingham. The next award is the Leadership Award for the Terra Verde Discovery School Band Program. There's only one of these. This student exhibits exceptional leadership skills and the ability to set a premier example for their peers at all times. And that goes to Benson D. The Citizenship Award in band, we have one for brass and one for woodwind. And this goes to a student who exemplifies not only leadership, but a high level of enthusiasm and energy overall for the program. And for woodwind, it goes to Bella Vitiello. And for brass, Miss Mia Leary. Miss Underwood, could you please come up? As I mentioned earlier in the program, we would not have the success that we've had with our band program if these kids didn't have the most amazing musical foundation already in place. And Miss Underwood, we would like to give you, we would like to give you a special thank you for setting the foundation for our band program. Now I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Snyder and let him do what he does best, which is his gift for Dad.
Thank you very much for coming out tonight. A little bit of context and background. It is actually true, Mr. Bell, when he arrived in Terra Verde, was super excited about the band. And for many of you parents that were here, we wanted to offer that earlier, but we just didn't have the student participation in it, or could we find faculty members. So I think Dr. Phelps actually showed up in August this year, maybe about a week before school started, where we were looking for that director, and has done an incredible role. We've been so fortunate to have her for this year, and we basically had that conversation at the beginning because she is quite renowned in touring and playing in different events and doing different things around the world. And so with COVID, she was able to be in Oklahoma a little bit more for this year, which played a huge role in getting our band started and having a vision for the program. So like many of the faculty members, they have to be able to take ownership and do what they do best. I certainly don't want to not mention Miss Underwood. Dr. Phelps absolutely raved about her every time that she would come meet with me to discuss different activities that she wanted to do with band or different field trips to get the students involved. And so I actually have some flowers here in a card for Dr. Phelps that I'd like to give to her. Our thanks for Terra Verde first. so we should give him a round of applause also. I think I told this everybody that I was going to sing tonight, but I'm not going to, so I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Phelps. Thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed this brief show.
We will have a short reception afterward. There's some goodies over there. And for those of you that don't want to eat cupcakes or cookies, I got a couple bananas, so we have a healthy option too. Or if your potassium is low, we can help you out. Bananas are a really good trick. Remember that when they're middle school and high school solo contests or marching contests and they're nervous? The chemical compound in a banana will settle all that down, and the big dose of potassium is good for high anxiety situations. So when they're nervous, don't go to the doctor and get drugs or beta blockers. Just give them a banana and tell them to drink some water. All right, our last piece is called High Hopes.